So Matt, can you guess what we're going to talk about today?
Well, I know because I talked
We've
about it, but no,
done it.
tell
We've done it. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a surprise. So yeah, AirTags, Apple AirTags. I just picked mine up on Friday. Over here in Australia, they're $45 for a single AirTag, and 149, I think, for a four pack. I think over in the US it's a little cheaper, so $29 for a single and $99 for a four pack. So we get a little bit hard done by here down under, but that's okay. We still love Apple.
uh,
Um, so yeah, I might just show you a little unboxing video I did, and I'll just sort of narrate it as I go along. Um,
uh,
so
yeah,
I'll do that. Can you see it? See the screen there? See that
yeah.
okay? Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn on sharing. That'll help. Share the screen. There we go. Can you see that?
Yep,
Oops.
get that.
Cool. Um, so yeah, the unboxing experience is pretty much like any other Apple product. Pretty nice packaging, pretty seamless experience in terms of setting it up. So the major thing I think about these Apple products, especially their Bluetooth ones, is the how they've integrated and making the Bluetooth pairing so seamless. I don't know if you've ever, Matt, had experience setting up other Bluetooth devices, but you often need to go into
Yeah.
the
Oh
settings.
yeah.
You need to pair it. It's a whole nightmare of its own. But with the Apple Bluetooth pairing, it's just pretty much automatically detects the device and a single click, and you're already connected and ready to go. So that was my experience with the AirTag. Very easy to set up. And I also bought here a Belkin keyring, so I can put one on the keys, and a bag strap there too. Um, so so that's sort of me unboxing those things. Might take me a
How
little
much
while,
was the
but
keyring?
eventually. I think the keyring was around $20, 19.95, and I think the bag strap was
Right.
around the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could. I think we covered already in a previous video the I don't know how you say it, but I think Hermes, the fancy ones, and I think they were. Correct me if I'm wrong, but about $400 to $500 for those leather ones. So
Yeah.
these are a little more
Oh wow.
affordable.
I'm just watching destroy this box. Yeah.
I actually had a difficult time with that one, getting that open, but
Just
anyway.
ripping it. Yeah. That's funny.
So I eventually got there, as you can see.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. Looks fancy.
and yeah, yeah. So
Oh, it's a
look,
four
the
pack.
the benefits. Yeah, that's a fallback. Yeah. Um, so look, Samsung have a sort of an AirTag equivalent, and also the major player in the space is Tile. So it's interesting that Apple are now entering this space, and it will be
Oh
even
yeah.
more interesting to see how that unfolds. How will this affect Tile's business and eat into their market share? Because we know Apple can do that. They're a
Yeah.
big player. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. I think the major advantage that Apple have is the you know
The
hundreds of
camera's not
millions of
autofocusing.
devices. I think the problem is sorry, the major advantage that Apple have is the sort of hundreds of millions of devices that they have, and the way this
Oh
works is
yeah.
that it works off other Apple devices to track the AirTag. So if there's an iPhone nearby, it sort of sends out
Ah.
tracking. So that's why
So
I think
everyone's
Apple
helping
has.
each other.
Yeah, it's sort of like an ecosystem of Apple devices, enabling the tracking of these AirTags. So because they've got hundreds of millions of devices, it basically it's going to be more accurate than some a company like Tile where
Yeah.
I think they use exactly the same technology, but they won't have as many devices out there. So yeah, anyway, it's interesting
Wow.
see how that'll unfold. The other thing that Apple has, which the other devices don't have, is this using the U1 chip. So that's a chip that's in the newer iPhones. So I think it's iPhone 11 and iPhone 12 at the moment. And so what it sort of does is has like an overlay using the AR, and so it combines the AR, the sound, and haptics to provide like a really accurate kind of visual tracking experience. So it's sort of like the last mile. So I think within the last sort of 30 meters, so you can get this, super accurate tracking. So yeah, that's another sort of advantage that these. Yep.
So the same chip in the phone. The same chip in the phone is in this little device.
Yeah, I believe this has a U1 chip as well. I'll look that up later, but I'm pretty sure it does. So yeah, they're all just sort of pinging each other, and that makes it sort of super accurate. The other thing is, if you lose one of these, so what do, right? Now you can track it, obviously, but also they have this thing where if somebody finds an AirTag, they can scan it. So using the NFC on the phone, and this will just go on loop. So we'll pause it there. So they can, if they've got an iPhone, they can scan it using the NFC, and it'll bring up your, I think, name and number, so they can just give you a call and say, I found it, come pick it up from here or whatever. And if you've got an Android device, I think it just has a link, so you can click that, and it'll work on both devices if somebody finds it. So that's also a pretty good feature. The battery, so it is a replaceable battery. So it uses a CR2032 battery, which is commonly found in garage remotes and that sort of thing. They're the little circular ones. I don't know if you've you know what I'm talking about there, but it's
I think so. So you can replace it yourself.
Yeah, you can.
You don't have to
2032.
send it to Apple and pay money.
No, yeah, right, which is usually what Apple makes you do, right? But in this instance, you can just replace it yourself. So I think the battery, they're saying, will last about a year, and you'll be able to replace it, which is pretty fantastic. And yeah, look, that really sums up my, sort of opinion on it. And I'm going to use them over the next year. Maybe we'll do a follow-up in a year and see how I'm enjoying them. But yeah, do you have any sort of initial thoughts on them, or?
Yeah, I was wondering about tracking other people, like in a stalker plant it in a girl's handbag.
Right. Yeah. That's a good question, and I think Apple have thought about that. Obviously, they would have been, such a tech giant. So I read about this. What they've done is, if you would plant it, or if a device is on somebody else, it actually notifies them. So if you've got an iPhone, it'll basically ping you and say that there's an unwanted or an unknown sort of AirTag on your person, and so you can deactivate it, which is pretty cool. And if you have an Android device, it'll just start like making a sound that from the AirTag itself. So it'll alert the person, and I think that only happens after a number of hours. So, and the person needs to return to a location that's not, the original home of that AirTag associated with that person's iCloud account. So does that make sense? I don't know if I explained that well enough, but yeah.
So if I'm a thief and I steal your bag with your tagger in it, can I just disable it? Because I'll be like, oh, you're tracking me.
Yeah, true. You could do that, but from what I understand, the thief wouldn't be notified till some time. So it wouldn't be like they take it and then instantly it starts playing a sound. So it would maybe be about 24 hours or something like that.
So as a thief, you've got to just lay low for that amount of time.
Lay low for a while. Right. And with the with the stalking sort of thing, I mean, yeah, it will, I don't know what you can do there exactly, but I think they've thought about this and they've tried to bridge the two, worlds of, like being
Yeah,
able to find your object and then preventing these things like stalking and that kind of thing. But I think they are also marketing it not as a sort of theft device, anti-theft device. It's more just like you leave your goods somewhere and somebody can sort of find it and give it back to you.
okay.
So
Yeah.
well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, and maybe I can do a bit of a follow up in 6 months to a year, and with a bit more information about it. But so far, so good.
And what are you using it for? Like you got four now.
Mm, yeah,
Primary. What are you most worried about?
I've put one in my bag because often you and I travel into the office, and I'm on public transport, so I've just got one in my bag because I've got my computer in there, stuff like that. So that's one. The other is on the car keys, just in case I'd be out or somewhere, leave the car keys, I can track them down. The third one's in my wallet as well, so just in case I would leave that somewhere.
Smart. Yeah.
Um, and the fourth is in my partner's wallet. So just there's the four devices there. I think Apple actually opened up their whole Find My network to third parties as well. So there are some other manufacturers now integrating tracking devices into their products. I think there's like a bicycle with one. I know you've had issues with with bikes being nicked in the past, but that would be cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I had it for my bikes. I also lost my wallet 2 months ago. So yeah, would have traveled
Yeah.
a
Okay.
lot. Mm.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, so maybe you can look to get into the AirTags thing too.
Need to get an iPhone first.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Well,
And you said, does
yeah.
it work on all iPhones or?
Yeah, it works on all the iPhones. Yeah. The only thing that's different is the U1 chip thing. So I've got an iPhone 10, so I won't get that last mile sort of U1 chip experience like I was explaining before. So it doesn't give you that really precision finding accuracy, but it'll still tell me the location of the AirTag within like 10 meters or something. So
Okay.
yeah, still
So
pretty
might
good.
be not so good with your keys in your house. Use
Yeah,
those ones
right.
as
Yeah,
intended.
but the way to get around that is that you can play a sound. So I can just on my phone hit like play the audio from the AirTag, and then I can sort of pick it up from there.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it'll just sort of beep until I tell it to stop.
Yeah. Ah, very good.
Cool. Well, that kind of wraps it up. So yeah,
Uh,
AirTags.
thanks. Yeah. Good summary.